Hey everyone, Strath here. I just wanted to make a quick video today on how I solo Zul'Gurub for the mounts on my Ret Paladin. The first thing you're going to want to use when you're soloing any raids is going to be this macro. It just invites a non-existent character to a party and then immediately converts the party to a raid. If you time it right, this will allow you to get through without having to invite a friend or an alt or anything like that. You just double hit it when you're running in. Usually I'll hit it the second time right before I hit the instance, and it seems to work out pretty well. Now here you can use some self buffs if you just want to save a little bit of time. For the sake of the video, I'll go ahead and get fully buffed here. And then I'm also going to start the run with rocket boots. You don't need rocket boots, but it saves you a couple seconds. You can pretty much run through all these mobs as long as you don't go directly over them and force a movement packet. They're all gray, so they won't really aggro. Now this is where it's going to be a little different than what other people do. I'm going to go over here, stand on this hill, use slow fall, rocket boots, and rocket boots over here. I also have the weak aura that automatically puts your regular boots back on. But I prefer to start with the boss over here because of the pathing of the berserker on the other boss. It just makes it so that way you don't have to wait a few seconds while it crosses through a door, and I'll show you that in a bit here. For soloing the actual boss as a paladin, just put Seal of Command up and then Sacred Shield, and blow all your cooldowns and AoE everything down. One of the mobs is going to heal, and you can get a Hodge on it. If you don't, from being silenced, it doesn't really matter. You can also just let the heal go off if you accidentally DPS one of these down too quickly. You want to kill them at the same time or else they'll respawn. That's the heal there, and I'll just go ahead and let it pop so you can see the amount. If it does go off, it's nothing crazy. This one does actually have a lot more health than the others, so we'll see how this turns out here. Alright, not bad. In the intermission, switch over to Seal of Vengeance, hit new Sacred Shield, heal up, and then hit Divine Plea for some extra mana. And Glove should come back here as well. You can use explosives if you want. I just don't bother anymore. My gear's too good for it to matter. And no mount, I'm assuming. Yep. Now we'll head over to the Raptor boss. One more thing is switching to Judgment of Light is generally worth it unless you have low gear and you're having to use Flash of Light to heal while Sacred Shield is up, which is useful. All you have to do basically is keep your Sacred Shield buff up and Flash of Light with every Art of War proc, and you can do some pretty insane healing solo, but in that case you'll want to use Judgment of Wisdom since your mana will be better used towards actually hard casting heals. But if you're not going to hard cast any heals, just use Judgment of Light. Now with these mobs, this is why we go to the other boss first, because this berserker will path right through here based on the timing if you come into a fresh instance, and you'll just be kind of waiting here while he slowly walks through the door. Also with these mobs, you can avoid aggroing them usually by forcing a movement packet right before you cross their threshold. So I'll hold W as I go in and then hit E right here, so it forces that last packet, and then I have some delay while I hold W, and it'll let you get through them without aggroing them. Just heal up here, top off mana if you need it. Usually I'll try to start with Hand of Reckoning because it doesn't proc trinkets for some reason. but I kind of wasted my trinket there anyway. Now at the start here, you're just going to want to blow damage cooldowns, and you're just going to want to focus Bloodlord Mando here. If you have lower gear, it's worth it to kill the mount.
Stop casting.
And then just slowly heal and hard cast heals, because the mount does stack up Sunder, but if you have enough damage, you can just focus Bloodlord, and it's a lot easier and quicker. Now one thing to note, he does threatening gaze here, and you're pretty much just going to ignore it. Right at the end of the duration, I'll use Divine Protection if I have something on cooldown. It does a substantial amount of damage, especially with high stacks of Sunder Armor. But if you just use Divine Protection, it saves you a lot of your health. When I had a bit lower gear, I would go from Divine Protection, and then I would use Divine Shield on the next one. And with that stun there, yeah, Human Trinket if possible.
Stop casting.
Basically, if you don't have a lot of gear, just keep rolling your defensives as much as you can. Hard cast to full health. He'll do, it can hit you for like 60% of your health, even with plate. So it does a lot of damage, and you definitely want to be topped off every time. And yeah, I'm never gonna get this mount. The entire original Wrath of the Lich King, I spent doing this, soloing it twice every week or whatever it is, and I never saw either mount, and that's exactly what's gonna happen this time as well. But hopefully you have better luck than I do.